Welcome to Landria Anka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. Breaking through fears. It's a challenge. We are on the master planet. You know, if it was worse, we'd blow ourselves up. So, if it's worse, I'm sure there's worse planets out there. They're probably blown up. Mars might have been one of them. We might have been one of them. But we're back. And we have opportunity now. All right, what do I want to talk about? I've got so many subjects to talk about. I've got some notes here. Let me look. Okay. Let's talk about the holographic universe. You realize we are a holograph. Hologram. We're holographic. You realize that if we raise our frequency, we could actually walk through a wall. That's science. So what is your assignment? What's your mission on the master planet? Raise your frequency. We got to raise our frequency. Wouldn't it be cool to walk through a wall? People do that. Your dream state and what you think is real right now is just a shift in reality. It's just another dimension. It's you being able to walk through walls when you go into that. It is real. And it's you working through things or experiencing things. You can also get answers. You can actually control that. You are here to raise your frequency. As a hologram, you actually have control over how it plays out. Which means everything you're seeing, you can control this whole thing, this whole play, all of it. It's not real like we believe it is. We believe this is a static thing, that this body is me. It's not. If my body was me, I wouldn't be able to go into the dream state and experience the things that I do. That is real. What is that? And you're thinking, oh, no, that's just my brain doing that. No, it's not. It's your consciousness. Your energy is actually going into another space, another dimension. And I'm not going to go into the mechanics of all this because no one person has all of the answers. But I know one thing, that everything you're doing right now is interchangeable at every split second. So I want to tell you something because we're here to raise our frequency. And what's going to happen is the Earth frequency has shifted. It's just naturally happening. We are now in a place, this is why you came here at this time in this history of this planet, is to participate in it and make a decision. It doesn't mean you're going to go to the higher frequency. You have to do it. It's a choice. Everything's a choice. It was a big challenge that you took on, the master planet. So the question is, are you going to go to the higher frequency? Are you going to go to the higher dimension? We're in 4, I guess we're going to 5th right now. If you're experiencing physical changes, somebody just told me today he has ringing in his ears. I had all the electrical charges. That is your body changing so that it can survive the higher frequency, the higher dimension. Because this physical 3rd dimension body can't withstand it. That's why we can't figure out why our DNA isn't being used. How come there's so much space? Because we are programmed, including our brains, we only use a portion of that. We have that ability to take these bodies into those dimensions, those higher dimensions, if we want to. So that space, that DNA, is there waiting to fire off and elevate us to the higher frequency, go into the 4th and 5th dimension. We'll start using more of our brain, especially if we go into meditation. And you'll find that your body's starting to shift. You'll have certain things happening and diet changes. Stay away from low frequency food. Try to give up the meats especially. Go into all organic. Spring and distilled water, I hear, is great for the pineal gland. Clean up everything. Because I'm going to tell you what, no TV show or gaming or car, brand new car, is going to matter if you're unhappy and living in the suffering of the third dimensional world. And that's where you will stay. And others will be living on this planet in a completely different dimension that doesn't have the problems that the third dimension world has. We will actually all be here, living in a completely different reality. So, my dimension will have no more wars. There will be abundance for everyone. That we will stop polluting this earth and respecting it. That no animal will ever be treated poorly or disrespected. That no plant will be treated like we do now, pouring chemicals on them and whatever else we do. That's my world. And I don't look at anything else. When you look at something and you focus on it, even for a very short period of time, it comes into your vibrational frequency and lowers it. So if you're watching anything negative or even the news and you see this negative world, you believe that. You see it. That's what you think your world is. I don't watch it. I don't need to. That news is a lower frequency and you are actually absorbing that frequency. That's why you need to stay away from it. Stay away from negative people. You're not here to fix them. That's their journey. They may be choosing to stay in the third dimension. So, I don't want you to be afraid. Because when you go to the higher dimensions and the higher frequencies, there will be earth changes and none of them are bad. Because whatever appears to be bad is going to be bad for the third dimension people that can't give up the traditional self-disempowering, self-limiting world that has been created up until this point. They'll stay there, and they want to stay there because they're so afraid of giving up even the monetary system that exists, the way we live, the cutthroat kind of mentality. You know, free energy. Oh, God forbid we have free energy and we can't make a fortune off of pharmaceuticals that are poisoning us. That we can't put garbage chemicals on our crops anymore because no one will eat that. And we're destroying our earth. And all the other violations that we perform will no longer be welcome in the higher dimensions. So those third dimensional people will stay in that world because they're comfortable there and they're afraid of change and they can't let go. They can't get past the ego and the negative thinking and the disempowering actions and thoughts. You have to pull away from that. And it will take effort because these are addictions. Those reality shows that are really negative, those murder shows and horror and all this stuff, I'm not talking about something that's, for fun, like a scary house or something. I'm talking about the stuff that has real psychological effects on you. I'm talking about the news that is not news. It's old garbage. Throw it out. And turn on Gaia, turn on all these wonderful YouTube channels available to you. Amazon has some wonderful stuff. So many things. Don't be afraid of this. For the higher dimensional beings, it's going to be positive, and you will experience abundance. You will experience joy. You'll experience a lightness. Your careers will change. Your opportunities will change. You're going to have so many wonderful things flowing to you because you're letting go of that dense world that can be addictive because it's what we know. And the ego fights tooth and nail The ego is not something to fear or fight. It's something you've conditioned and been telling it, how things work, and it's just trying to protect you. Oh no, you need to go back into this. That's a job. You need to keep that job. No, I hate that job. No. Your family, everybody says stay in that job. You're irresponsible to get out of that job. All this stuff's going to go on. That's just because you've conditioned the ego, and you can condition it to do something else, to serve you as an energy that has all those memories and experiences, but now sees that what you're feeling and doing now is a positive thing, and it's not anything to fear. The earth change is nothing to fear if you are in a higher frequency. And if you're in a third dimension and you know who you are, if there's negative stuff coming out of your mouth right now, there's no reason to be negative about anything. You can be discerning. I've never said you shouldn't discern. What's discernment? Making wise decisions without being negative. Saying, I'm sorry, I can't be in this job anymore. It's not serving me well. Bless you. And walking away, not, you guys are, this and that. You don't have to go there. You don't always have to be right. You don't have to judge other people. You don't have to watch the negativity. Start making good decisions. Get up to that frequency, and you will live in a world that is so beautiful. Yes, it will have challenges. They will not affect you like they do now if you are experiencing the third dimension. You will start to handle them and see them differently. You're going to say, here's a challenge, and you can do this right now. Do you have a challenge right now? Are you dealing with something? Are you dealing with abundance, struggling with relationships of any kind, struggling with, self-love? I never get that one. I mean, you are you, so what's to love? It's like you're loving something separate from you. You are everything. You are love. What's not to love? You're love. You and I are the same. We're the same energy. We're sharing the same energy. Not separately. We are the same energy. You're a component of that energy, and so am I. Having an experience. If you're struggling with anything right now, if you start functioning on a higher dimension, you will see it as a challenge, an opportunity to learn and break away from the habits that are keeping you there and the decisions that have kept you there. What decisions have you made that have placed you in this situation or continue to keep you in that situation because you continue to make the same decisions over and over again and have patterns? You've got to shake it up and do something different that might be scary, but it's going to shift your energy. What can you learn from this? I'm back in the situation again. I'm back in that, I'm broke again, or I'm, got my heart broken again, or I've been abused again. And we can go on and on. I've not respected at work again. You've done it. You keep making those decisions. You can change those and go into that higher frequency and say, okay, this is not a bad thing. Where I am is not the third dimension thinking. It's me having an opportunity to get out of this and go to the fourth and fifth dimensions. And I'll experience the world where if anything happens, if the economy collapses, it's going to work in your favor. You're going to go, wow, I was worried about being broke, and guess what? I don't have to worry about it. I don't have a portfolio to worry about, right? Or I don't, if something happens with relationships, you go, thank God I'm not in a relationship. I'm happy on my own. And then somebody wonderful comes into your life, or, oh my gosh, I was worried about that job. They fired me. And here I'm like, this was an opportunity for me to go find something wonderful. And by the way, that company might go under because all those third dimension structures are collapsing. And it's going to happen. And it's happening now. And if you look at technology, people are becoming empowered. Do not be afraid of technology. Technology is like anything else. You can use it for good or bad. There's always going to be people out there that are doing bad things. And that's going to fall away too. But we're still on Earth. I don't know if in our lifetime, in these bodies, we'll ever experience complete euphoria. I think we can. But again, that's an individual choice. It is. You can choose that reality. That's going to take some real work. That means you've got to be diligent. Like I said, you can't eat the chemical-laden meat, go watch the rotten news, and then watch your, gory shows, negative shows, and then what else? Oh, then do your gaming and shoot up people, and let your kids do it. Doesn't work that way. You have a choice to make. Don't get caught up in this material world. It's easy to get sucked in. It's not going to make you happy. You go to this place, like I tell you constantly about abundance, about manifesting. You're manifesting every second. It's not a trick to get us something. There's no, oh, I'm going to live in the third dimension and I want to go to the fifth dimension to manifest something. You have got to live a fourth and fifth dimensional life to manifest beautiful things. And all the material world will come to you, but they're not going to be, you won't rely on them to make you happy. And that's the best part. You're going to be so euphoric, and all these beautiful things are going to come, and you really won't care that much about them because you're so happy all the time. Wouldn't that be a great place, getting the stuff and being happy even if you don't have it? But getting it and going, you know what, I'm going to give this stuff away. I get stuff all the time, and I'm constantly giving stuff away. I'm like, I don't need all this stuff. Purging. I'm still doing it. You can do the same thing. You can come up to that frequency. Do not be afraid of that world. That is a beautiful world. Don't be afraid to let go of all the stuff that you think is going to make you happy. That relationship, that job, that whatever is not going to do it for you. It's raising your frequency, Will. Getting away from the fear of hanging on to those things. Living that life of joy every day. Watchdog for the thoughts. Making sure that you keep it in check. Meditating. Getting that frequency up. Clearing out the garbage. And I guarantee you will see some awesome changes. And if you say, no, it's not working, I'll say, then you aren't doing it. Don't tell me there's no changes if you're meditating, watching your thoughts, practicing, because then you won't be complaining either. If you're complaining to me, I know you're not even doing this stuff. Because you already know you have the answers. If you're coming and sharing stuff, asking questions, absolutely. But I have people that everything they say out of their mouth is just disempowering. I'm like, read your own email. It's right there. I have a rotten life. This is how the world is. Everybody else, it's their fault. You're responsible. And you live in a holographic world that is interchangeable at every split second. So you can do it right now. Make a decision and know that you have that power to change anything. Anything. And it will take you in the direction you need to be. Because what you think you want, if you leave it open to the universe, it will take you to other places that you didn't expect. And yeah, Richard, anybody can be an astronaut. Sorry. Anybody. A dog was an astronaut. A cat was an astronaut. Rats. Everything's been an astronaut. Paraplegics. Because one's going up. Shortly, Stephen Hawking is going to be an astronaut. And everyday people can. SpaceX, honey. Get up with it. Get up with the good news and stop watching the bad garbage. You are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, happy. You are receiving. And thank you for sending these miracles to my friend who receives them now and is so grateful for all of the answers that you are sharing and all of the abundance that you are sending and the peace and the love. I send you peace and love. Namaste.